Hello everyone, this is Mr. Osem Wasapi, and in this video we'll be looking at mathematics and the topic simplification. So let me just change the color to white so that you can see clearly. Simplification. Alright, so before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Let's start. So what is simplification? So in a nutshell, when you come across the word simplify, simply means to reduce. So simplification is just the act of reduction. In short, it's making something as simple as possible. Now I want you to understand something. When it comes to simplification, it's in different parts. I want you to recall signs. Remember, when it comes to addition and subtraction, it's quite different. Whenever you're adding and subtracting terms, be mindful of this. If I have terms like, say, 7a minus 9a, so you first have to notice the signs that these two terms possess. Now, what signs do the terms possess? If you look at 7 is positive, and 9 is what? Negative. As a grade 12, we all understand how this works. Whenever you have different signs, subtract. So if you subtract 7 from 9, you get a 2. Now remember, this is the terms of a. So it's going to be 2a. Now, the answer will always have the sign of the bigger number. As a result, you have negative 2 what? A. You might also have a statement that could be written as negative 9a plus 7 what? A. Provided that the signs are different, you subtract. And when you subtract, you get 2 what? A. It's going to be negative because between 7 and 9, 9 is the biggest number. And this answer will always have the sign of the bigger number. So these will be our respective what? Answers. Now, with this said, I want you to also understand that at times you might also have signs that are the same. You might have same signs. Now, what do you do whenever you have same signs? Basically, whenever you have same signs, you add values. So if I add 3 to 4, I'll end up having a 7. Now basically, I did make mention that your answer will always have the sign of the bigger number. So you have 7 what? A. Now since the answer should have the sign of the bigger number, I will take the sign from either the two because we're literally having the same sign. It's going to be negative 7 what? A. So even if you have negative 7x minus 7x, this will just be what? Negative 14 what? X. Negative 3b minus 5b, this would be negative what? 8b. But remember, if you have different signs, say negative 7x plus 4x, these are different signs, you end up doing what? Subtracting 3x. But the answer should have the sign of the bigger number, and the bigger number between 4 and 7 is 7, having a negative sign. As a result, your answer will be negative 3x. But if I had, say, negative 7a plus 10 what? A. They are different signs, isn't it? So you do what? Subtract. Now if you subtract, what are you going to get? You're going to get 3 what? A. It's not really going to be negative because between 7 and 10, 10 is the biggest number. So 10 is bigger than 7. So remember, we did make mention that whenever you have different signs, your answer will have the sign of the bigger number. So we'll take the sign of 10. As a result, it's positive 3 what? A. But in mathematics, basically, you don't really show the positive. So it's going to be just what? 3a. But when the signs are the same, you can pick the sign from either. It's like I'm telling you to say, what is a plus a? You know that even if you don't see the number in front, there is always a 1. So these are like same signs, because those are positive, so you get a 2 what? A. Now, let's understand this topic with examples. So the first section that we'll look at under simplification is called the addition and subtraction part. So addition and subtraction. So now, under addition and subtraction, one thing you should know is this. We add or subtract corresponding what? Values. Or in simple terms, we add and subtract like what? Terms. Now, when is the term like? And when is the term unlike? If the letters attached to a term is equal to the term that is being added or subtracted with, it means that they are like terms. So if I have 7b, if I have 7b plus 2b, these are like terms because I'm having b and b. You get the point? So if I add the two, I end up getting what? 9b. Same signs you add. It's going to be positive, but I won't really show the positive. I'm having negative 7b plus 2b. Different signs to subtract. You get what? Negative 5 what? B. But now, remember, we're trying to understand if the terms are alike or not. So if the terms are alike, the letters should be the same, isn't it? Yes. And when the terms are not alike, the letters will not be what? Same. So I'm telling you to add 7b to what? 4a. This is b and this is a. These are not like terms. And unlike terms can never be what? Added or subtracted. So be mindful of that. So we add or subtract like terms. So let's basically look at examples to clearly understand this. So example number 1 will show us a statement. Let me put example number 1 this so you can see clearly. Example number 1, say we've been told to simplify something like 4a minus 7b minus 3a plus 3 what? B. So all you have to do now is first collect the what? The like terms. So you should also know the signs that these terms are possessing. 4a is having positive, 7b is having negative, 3a is having a negative, and 3b is having a positive. So all you have to do now is to collect the like terms. Collecting like terms simply means you get the number that has a letter that is alike with itself. So I'll start with a's. So I get 4a, and I get a minus 3a. Then once I'm done with the a's, I can now move on to the b's. I can either start with negative 7b or plus 3b. So I say minus 7b plus what? 3b. Now what is 4a minus 3a? So it's going to give you what? 1a. Now what is minus 7b plus 3b? Now minus 7b plus 3b will give you what? It's going to give you negative what? 4b, because these are unlike what? Sorry, these are like terms, but the signs are not the same. When the signs are not the same, you do what? Subtract, and your answer should have the sign in the bigger number, and that's what we've done here in order for us to get what? A minus 4b. Now most people would write this as a minus 4 what? B, because 1 is an abstract figure. It's not really shown in mathematics. So I'll be clear. So I'm on to example number 2. Say you have negative 7x plus 8y minus 10x minus 12y. Alright, so you can pause the video and attempt to do it on your own, and then compare with what I'll do next. So what we'll do now first is to do what? Yes, collect the like terms. If you collect the like terms, you get minus 7x minus 10x. Then you're done with the x's. You move on to the y's. So you have negative 12y and plus 8y. You can start with either one of them. So you have plus 8y minus 12 what? Y. Then you can ask yourself, same signs, what do you do? The terms that are having x's will be simplified, will be added or subtracted. So if you look at these, this is minus 7x minus 10x. These are same signs. And what do you do whenever you have same signs? You basically add. So if you add, you get what? A 17. And remember, I did make mention that when you have equal signs, you can just pick either. So it's going to be what? Minus 17x. So it's going to have what? Minus 17x. Now if you look at this portion here, you're having plus 8y minus 12y. So the signs are different. Different signs, what do? You subtract. If you subtract 8 from 12, what are you going to get? You get a 4. Now that 4 should have the sign of the bigger number, and the bigger number between 8 and 12 is 12 having a negative sign. As a result, you get what? Negative what? 4. So you end up getting negative what? 4y. Now negative 7x minus 4y. X and y are not the same. As a result, this is your what? Final answer. So I'm a little bit quick because I want to cover as many topics as possible. So try to catch up. Math is about speed and accuracy. So say you have minus x plus 9y plus 10x plus 5y. Let me write the y properly. Step 1, collect the like terms. I start with the x's. So minus x plus 10x plus 9y plus 5y. So now I'll start with this portion here. So for this portion, you have a minus x plus 10x. The signs are different. So what do? You subtract. So if you subtract, you get it what? A 9. But your answer should have the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number between 1, which is not shown, and 10 is simply just 10 having a positive. So your answer should be positive. So you get 9 what? X. Not 9x squared. Please don't do that. Some of you, I don't even know what's going on with you. But Don't ever do that. So we move on to this portion here. What is 9y plus 5y? These are like terms, isn't it? So the signs are the same, so you basically have to add. If you add 9 to 5, you get what? Yes, 14y. Now basically x and y are not the same. As a result, this is your final what? Answer. Alright, example number 4. Say you have 4a minus 7b minus 11a plus 4b plus 7x. So let's collect the like terms. So I'll begin with the a's. So I have 4a, which are the a? I also have minus 11a. If I move on to the b's, I have minus 7b, so I'm going to write minus 7b. What other b do I have? I have plus 4b, so I'm going to write plus 4b. I'm done with the b's. I have to look for another letter that is in the statement. I'm having x, positive 7x, so I'm going to write plus 7x. It's going to be collected with what? It doesn't really have a partner, isn't it? So we'll just let it be like that. So I'll start with this portion here. What is 4a minus 11a? 4a is having a positive. It's not really shown, but it's there. So the signs are not the same. So what are you going to do? You will what? Subtract. If you subtract 4 from 11, you get a 7. Now remember, the sign of the answer should come from the bigger number. So the bigger number between 4 and 11 is 11, having a negative. So we have negative, remember, 4 from 11, that gives you what? A 7. So you get 7 what? A. So if you look at this portion, you're having minus 7b plus 4b. Different signs. You have to subtract. If you subtract 4 from 7, what do you get? You get a 3. But you need to get the sign from the bigger number. And the bigger number between 7 and 4 is actually 7, having a minus. So your answer will have a minus. So it's going to be minus what? 4 from 7 will give you 3. So you get a 3b. But if you look at positive 7x, it doesn't really have a partner to be paired with, because you can only add or subtract like terms. It doesn't really have a term that's alike with itself. So just write plus 7x. Now a, b, and x are not like terms. And whenever you reach a point where all the terms are unlike, then that's your final what? Answer. Let's go to the last example. Example number 5. Say you have minus 4 plus 3a minus 7 minus 3a. If you collect the like terms, I can get minus 4, numbers with numbers, minus 7, terms with a term. Then I'll say minus 3a plus 3 what? A. So now these are same signs, isn't it? Same signs you add. If I add 4 to 7, you get 11. It's going to be 11. Same signs. Remember, can pick either because they're both negative. It's going to be negative 11. Alright. Then you have minus 3a plus 3a. Same sign, sorry, different signs, so you have to subtract. If you subtract 3a from 3a, you get 0. 0 can either be positive or negative. So just pick either one of them. So I say plus 0. Another would say minus 0. Other would say minus 11 minus 0. Still fine, because 0 is nothing. So if I remove 0, I just get negative 11. Same here, if I remove the 0, just get negative 11, because negative 11 plus 0 is just negative what? 11. Alright, so this is part 1 of simplification. I hope you're clear. If you have questions, reach me on WhatsApp on this number or the number I'll put in my description. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is Mr. Hussein Masapi. Remember to strategize before you become a statistic, and let's try and push for that distinction.